Yeah, I'm laughing at the whole fucking Twitter thread. I used to use it all the time when I was little. I tried to get my little brother to do it when we were when I was on a road trip. Didn't work.
All right, we're good to go.
Hey.
Here we go. All right, welcome. Hey, it's your boy Max, and we are here with Emirate Cup champion. You guys know him as by Rowdy Mania, Rowdy, all of that. Uh, Stop Man in action, everything. Paul Pericone today. Paul, got some stuff you would like to tell us, and it looks like you're gonna spread it out. But before we even get to the, tea spilling, how have you been during, your time off MRA?
I've been pretty good. I've been running some dirt racing stuff, a bunch of short track stuff. I've been trying to stay away from the big MRA scene. I've heard some stuff. I still have my sources. I've been actually catching up with a teammate, Noah Dagenhart. Been catching up with him, and we've been talking about MRA and that kind of stuff. So look out for something to happen eventually. Um, but yeah, so it's been pretty uneventful. But yeah, I haven't been totally away from it.
All right, so let us go. Let us take it where it all started, where you started driving for JGR when MRA first was a thing. How was
Right.
your relationship at that time?
Well, that was when I pretty much had full control over JGR. It was me and P. Kenny, and that was it. It was me and him controlled the team. It was technically not JGR, but we did own JGR. It wasn't called JGR. We owned the all the JGR cars pretty much. Um, so that was kind of our thing. Uh, and then it kind of started to fade out after I left from MRA after season one. I ran like one race in season two, but Peter carried the torch for a little bit. So yeah, it started out pretty good, and then it started to fade away.
Then season three, you had some stuff. Then season four, you decided, all right, I'm a leave for a second. I'm gonna go have a team called Lone Motors. And what was your experience with that? Like, let us express us through that whole entire season with Lone Motors.
Well, that season started out looking just like I kind of signed on too late. You know, it was another season where, guess fucking what? Paul does a late entry to the series, surprise entry, and doesn't have his shit prepared, so he doesn't find drivers. That's my entire story owning a team. But then when we're running this, um, I hire Tough Tyler, and I think Brad ran a race for us at one point too. But Tough Tyler was obviously the fucking goat. Uh, Man, the guy got us he got us the one championship for Lone Motors. And he was a really good driver. Wasn't too good of a team dynamic there, but it was a hell of a driver. And our season, we got one win in the Cup Series, and our Xfinity driver never showed up. So pretty uneventful. But fucking that truck team was really good that year.
Yeah, like, yeah, he won the championship. And take us through where the times where you and Tyler were having tough times, like cooperating during that season.
I guess it started out he wasn't in the beginning of the season. He hadn't won as much, and he'd made some moves that weren't the smartest things. Like he would make these super aggressive passes that, watching from a spectator standpoint, seemed really unnecessary. And then, obviously, as I got more experience, I would look back on it and realize I was kind of stepping in too much and impeding on his driving ability by giving him these little, stupid tips when because I used to commentate those races. I
Mm-hmm.
used to be there commentating every single week, every lower division race. And I would always be like, "Hey, don't do that shit," and he would get mad, and it was my fault. I should not have impeded on his driving ability. And I think that's where the cracks really started to form. But he did go out there and win the championship, so it worked.
Yeah. Now, season 5 is when you're like, you know what? Let me give JGR another chance. But that's when, you know, that's when JoJo came along, because JoJo joined the JGR camp in season 4, driving for the Xfinity team. But you weren't even part of it, so you didn't really care. But then season 5 is when he came, and you guys became teammates, and stuff really took around. And what happened there when you first met JoJo? Like, take us, through the whole process when you met JoJo in season 5 in the Toyota camp.
Well, if we want to be for real, I didn't meet JoJo in season 5. I met him in season. I met him in season 2.
Mm-hmm.
I was racing an Xfinity race, a one-off Xfinity race at Darlington, which I should have won that race, but one of my competitors that race was JoJo. So it was pretty much like you know that's the first time I met him. He told me, "Hey, can you make a fire suit?" So I made him a really crappy fire suit. Um, and I actually think I spelled his name wrong on the back. He always used to mess with me about that.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so we really met in season 2. But then when he started driving for Toyota and doing pretty decent is when I really started to pay attention to him.
And you got
There's Tyler
anything
in the chat.
else during season 5? You got anything else? Because you did make the final four during that process, and then he won the 500. You guys were pretty, close during those, dominance.
Yeah, that was that was a pretty good year for the little duo we had going, because that was when I really started to kick it into gear with mesh racing. So then I would be winning regular races like Las Vegas,
Mm-hmm.
but then also JoJo he won the Daytona 500 that year. So it's like, we were trying to be as good as we possibly could. But then the championship that year, I will bring this up because you were hosting and you could have done something about it. I forget what the fuck was his name. Epic Master? Was that the guy? Drove the 13 car that year?
I think it was.
Uh, he did some dumb shit at Miami. Wasn't a playoff contender and wrecked me multiple times. And Noah won the title. But if anybody won that, I'm really glad it was Noah. As much as me and Noah had our little arguments, he was a kick-ass driver.
All right, now
But yeah, no,
season
season 5 was
six.
not our best.
Season 6 is where things got tricky. He all of a sudden, surprisingly, just decided to leave JGR and go to Furniture War Racing, and then you had some problems with that. What was the problem?
Well, the problem was that we had a really good season, and he got up and left, and decided to not. When he the real issue with that, I mean, we were still pretty chill because, season 5 was a great season for both of us. And then I lost the championship by a little bit, and he went to the team that beat me for the championship. So it was kind of like a real. I felt kind of like betrayed, as corny as that sounds, because it's
Mm-hmm.
Roblox, but still, it was still kind of like, I lost the championship to this team, so you're gonna go over and immediately start helping that team beat me even more. So that was definitely the low point in me and Joseph's relationship. But I'm not going to be yelling at Joseph. Like, we got over it eventually. But yeah, no, when he went to Furniture Row, that really messed what we had up a lot.
And the crazy part is he was like he was getting tired of your crap, but then all of a sudden you end up winning the championship with no wins.
Um, yeah, that was definitely something. I mean, hell, we went out there. We didn't think we were gonna win. Um, and we fucking got it. King Prime won the championship race, and we had a little quick quickie lap around the outside. But yeah, no, that was kind of, I used that as like an in your face to JoJo. I was trying to really rub it in his face that the team is still pretty damn good, even though it wasn't all JGR. It was the '07 car. So
And
yeah.
then that's when the year he went was also their last year running operations in MRA. Then you hear that him and Noah also are coming to JGR, and that's when season 7, when you guys were like, you guys already knew you guys were the best team that season. You guys had a good squad, but then things started going south in season 8 because you left again. Now, we're all trying to find out the answer. What was your big problems with the Joe Gibbs Racing? What was your big problem with the team?
I think it was when we started hiring drivers. I really think it was hiring drivers and not consulting each other on hiring the drivers. Because me and Joseph both hired drivers and we didn't like consult each other. Like it wasn't like, hey, can I hire Leo? I shouldn't have name dropped there, but I did. Um, hey, can I hire Leo? Right? And then it's like, oh, sure. But then it eventually got to hiring people um, kind of behind each other's backs. Um, and that's what really started to bring us down. But we were still pretty good that year. It's not like we were bad, but I really think it was both me and Joseph uh, with the drivers we hired to the lower divisions. Probably is what messed us up the most.
Now, with all that going on, people, after what's been going on, people have been realizing that the main problem with Joe Gibbs, even outsiders, like the people who don't even race for that team, they start to realize, or former drivers who were part of the camp, they were also spreading out stuff that JoJo was part of some of the problems that were going on, and people should have not blamed you that much as they should for JoJo. Now, would you like to tell us your side of the story for that?
Well, I'm not gonna go out here and just start shitting on JoJo. I mean, I still do respect him, even though we do have our differences. Uh, but I honestly think when he left a Furniture Row and then came back with Noah, that's what really started to bring it down. But I'm not gonna just throw all the blame on them. I played a big part in taking down Joe Gibbs. But I think what we're leaving out here is when I went back to Joe Gibbs and we had a pretty good season and I won the Daytona 500 at the number 18 car. I think that helped Joe Gibbs come back from all the controversy. And it wasn't just me. I mean, JoJo and Noah also won that season, if I'm correct. But it was like, it went really low in one season and then immediately went up when I won the Daytona 500.
Now, once again, you were like, you know what? I'm gonna bring back low motors, and you brought it back for season 9. You won the 500, and in season 8, you came and you were starting to win more races and stuff. And then season 10, you stayed again, and we were like, wow, is he really never coming back to JGR? Because you spent 3 seasons with low motors. We never saw
Yeah.
you do that before. And you were running pretty good. And then season 11, this current season, before the whole pandemic crisis crap that we were going through and all that shit, um,
Mm-hmm.
you came for a while, then you stopped, and we want to know why you really stopped at that time.
Well, I think it was because the series had kind of faded out. I didn't think the series was gonna come back.
Hmm.
I thought it was over. I mean, the server turned into a chill lobby, and I was like, I'm gonna focus on some dirt racing and short track stuff, and I didn't want to focus on the big stuff anymore. And then I only heard it was back from a couple guys like Noah. Uh, but like, yeah, it's not like I quit because I didn't want to race. I was actually enjoying when I came back and raced at Auto Club. I was really enjoying that. It was a pretty fun experience coming back to Joe Gibbs. And I raced in Charlotte too. I think it was Auto Club in Charlotte, maybe another race that I forgot about. But yeah, I don't think when I left, I didn't mean it to be like a whole big thing. I
Hmm.
was just kind of like, "Oh shit, we're dead. I'll see y'all around." Like I didn't want it to be like, "Hey guys, I'm leaving," because every time I'd done that, it had turned out pretty bad. So I was just like, I'm gonna just
Now,
kind of slip
here's a
away
question.
and
Here's a
wait.
question I would really love to ask because you used to say this so many times when you were pissed. When did you really think that when JoJo took over JGR and all that? You were like, I'm never coming back to JGR if I don't get to own it. What was the main reason of you saying that?
Well, I feel like it's because, correct me if I'm wrong here, but Joe Gibbs doesn't have a championship besides that one year I won it, and I was pretty much in control that year. So it's kind of like if I'm in control, clearly we will win races, you know. And I'm
Yeah.
not saying I'm the sole reason for Joe Gibbs' success, but I am saying with me being at the head of the team, um, we had more success than we did when I wasn't at the head of the team. Like when it was me versus Joe Gibbs, didn't turn out that well. But it was when it was me on top of Joe Gibbs with Noah and JoJo helping, that's when it was really good. Um, so and then when I came back to race, I don't know if I ever announced this, but I had partial ownership in the team. I was there, watching the Xfinity race,
Mm-hmm.
checking the drivers out, seeing what drivers were ready to go on to better things. And I was looking to sign some new drivers for Lone Motors before um I, decided to not race at the beginning of that season. Um but yeah, I really I'm when I said I'm not coming back unless I have ownership, I really think it was more about the overall picture of how the team was going to go in the future rather than right now um, with whoever was leading. I think Dark had it at one point too, so it wasn't just JoJo.
Well, yeah, I could say that for you because JGR or KBM combined does not have a championship under JoJo's belt, but they do under your belt.
Um, yeah, I mean with the one thing from Tough, I mean I guess that's a lower driver kind of
Yeah.
thing, you know. When Tough won, it was kind of like a developmental program.
Mm-hmm.
Because I will point out that Tough's championship came in his rookie season, so he was brand new into the series, and then got picked up by this team, and then went on to win the title. Um, but yeah, I did that didn't happen in Joe Gibbs, which was really disappointing because I feel like NASCAR Joey was really yeah. But yeah, so I feel like NASCAR Joey was like a big part in the Joe Gibbs lower division story. Um, him in the 54 truck was really good, and when he ran Xfinity in the 54, and everybody else that was a part of the lower divisions in Joe Gibbs helped, but I don't think without me at the top, I I don't think everything came together as well as it did on Lone Motors. Um, and I think that has to do with I think that really has to do with the way the drivers were treated within the team. Like I'm not. I just think it was the way the drivers were treated through the team. Um, with the Joe Gibbs drivers having their group chat and being checked in at, and if they make a mistake, they're kind of immediately being corrected for that mistake, like immediately, as opposed to the lone motors driver philosophy, which in recent seasons has just been show up, finish the race, and we're proud. Because all we need is drivers on track. I mean, I think Downshift he ran a couple of races with us. I know Carlito ran a couple of races with us, and Shola was actually on our team for a little bit. He was driving the 3 truck, which was like affiliated. But yeah, I feel like the whole reason when I said, "Oh, I want to own Joe Gibbs," is because when JoJo owned it, there wasn't enough work with the developmental drivers. I guess I did talk long enough, but yeah. So I definitely think it was a lot about um the whole way that the team itself developed around the drivers, rather than the drivers developing themselves up through the ladders of the team. Because there have been so many drivers for Lone Motors that have gone on to do better things, um, like Tough Tyler going from the Truck Championship up to now the Cup Series, and all the drivers that have come through the lower Lone Motors ranks and moved on, as opposed to Joe Gibbs drivers who tend to move up with Toyota, with Joe Gibbs. So I feel like that's the real reason I would rather own the team than just race for it. Um, what else? I was going to say something else about the Joe Gibbs. Oh yeah, with when I ran on Joe Gibbs, I felt like I was better than when I ran on Lone Motors early in my career. Like for the first couple of seasons, when I was driving the Kyle Busch car, I felt like I was better. Then I kind of fell off. So I was like, I'm gonna run my own team. And then when I ran it for like the 3 season thing, when I was just kind of sticking with Lone Motors and trying to fill some stuff out there, felt like that was a little bit different uh, than when I stuck with Joe Gibbs, like win wise. So if anybody in the chat wants to ask any questions about why wasn't on JGR as much as I could have been, go ahead. Y'all can go and ask some stuff about that. But yeah.
All right.
Okay.
So if I did or not.
I don't think I've seen it, but I heard. So I have heard about JoJo getting exposed. I didn't hear what happened.
So I made an
What's
alternate
the-
account on Discord pretending to be a MRA hater, right? And I told
Uh-huh.
JJ to invite me to a group chat that him, JoJo, and Noah are in. And I was talking crap about myself, and they were saying some stuff deeper than what I was saying, and they got exposed for that. And after I was recording, by the way, and I uploaded it on my YouTube channel. Everybody saw it. Everybody, JoJo got exposed, and after that happened, JoJo has not been talking to the MRA chat for like the next 3 days.
But see, what I'm thinking about that is I'm thinking, if drivers like that have that uh idea. Um, I'm just,
Is all I'm being told.
you know, if people have an opinion about a series, but continue to support the series, I think there should be some respect there. You know, if you stick around in the series just because you want to, but you might talk some shit about it.
Oh,
I
oh,
wouldn't
it wasn't
consider
just
that
more
as a
of
reason
that.
to leave.
We also caught JoJo saying Kyle Larson.
Oh, epic. Yeah, you act like that's brand new. That's been happening for a while.
Oh yeah, we
I'm
know.
not trying to
That's
like
basically
be
what happened today because he said it with the hard R. Well, I don't know. Well, I don't know. He didn't
yeah.
say the hard R today, but he said the A, like the
That
AA.
happened in my series. Did I not tell you?
No, nobody tells me
That
nothing.
happened in my series.
I get it.
That's
I get
that's how
word
he
from
got
like
banned from
strangers.
Pizza Hut. No, that's how he got banned from Pizza Hut because he said that. JJ did too. That's how
Yeah, and then he
both
left.
of them got kicked.
And then he left
Yeah.
this morning, and we were like, all right, he left. Now what's the plan for JGR? And then people
Oh
wanted to
shit! Yeah,
know.
who owns that?
And
Wait,
then people started realizing, oh, so basically this is part of the reason why Stock left. Because some people
does
used
it?
to think you left because you hate everybody. That's what everybody thinks. You left because you just.
Well, I did leave because I didn't like them, but I stuck around this year. It's not like
Yeah.
we have differences off the track, but when you are on track and you have teammates on track that are driving for the same team, and the team is pretty hated in the series, I'm not going to stay around and say Joe Gibbs was a team that wasn't hated at all. We were hated. But as much as I may have had issues with their personalities off the track and their philosophies and ideas, when you're on track, you got to be chill with your teammates.
Mm-hmm.
That's there's another reason I dipped, because the Xfinity drivers were being not good. I'm not even gonna get into that. But when you're when you're on a team, you got to work together and you got to support your teammates on and off the track, no matter if they disagree with you or not. But does it not have an owner right now?
No. As of right now, no.
Oh shit! Is that why this is? I didn't. Okay, for anybody who's watching this and is like, he doesn't know. Yeah, no. I I haven't been online today. I've been watching documentaries on YouTube because I'm such a fucking nerd.
Oh, yeah,
Um,
I was doing the same.
but
I
for
was
real,
literally just basically watching
yeah,
Civil War history and all that crap today.
I was watching shit about 9/11
Yeah,
because
I
it's
watched
the
some
12th, and I
9/11
was
stuff
watching
this
it
morning.
yesterday.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fucking crazy. But no, if it doesn't have an owner, I'll say it here. I'll say it for the first time on the stream. I'll come back and I'll own it. If it needs an owner that desperately, that people want me to come back just to own it, yeah, I'll take the
I mean, yeah,
reins
if
and
I
I'll
don't
see what
find an
I can do.
owner, yeah, you'll be the first on the list. Yeah.
Yeah, if you don't need one, I'm here. I have
Yeah.
nothing going on. So, um, but yeah.
All right. That's basically all we had for. Thanks for stopping by. We haven't talked to you in a while. Basically all we got. Hey, people, thanks for watching. Um, basically all we got for today. I'm gonna end the stream. And there.